This week, we saw that Springbok Pierre Spies has a body fat percentage of 6.5 and can do pull-ups with a 50-kilogram weight between his legs. Today, we get to know the man behind the muscles. Ewan met up with Pierre near his home in Pretoria.
Now, Pierre, this whole week we've been talking about you as a rugby player, but let's take the time and talk about Pierre Spies as the family man.
I've got a very close-knit family. I enjoy my time at home with my wife and with some friends. Those are the things you miss normally when you tour.
And you guys are excited to be parents soon, I hear.
Yes, and we're getting a little boy in January, so it's very excited. We're very proud of that, and we'll see. I think it's going to be a big one because he's a bit bigger than what he should.
Well, just looking at his dad, yeah.
Yeah, so it's something to look forward to. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Pierre's dad was also a Springbok and sadly passed away before seeing his son in green and gold. Having missed out on the previous World Cup due to blood clots in his lungs, Pierre gave it his all this season and held the family name high.
A couple of weeks back, you guys came back from the World Cup. Quickly tell me a bit about some of the experiences you had there, you know, the vibes, the people.
Yeah, I think it was a great experience for me to be part of my first World Cup. Obviously, we didn't finish where we wanted to, but you know, the whole experience of a World Cup is wonderful to have all the different countries together.
For now, it's good to be home, and he looks forward to a busy 2012 when the Springboks will take on the newly crowned world champions New Zealand in Soweto, as well as host England in June and play Australia and Argentina on home ground.
I want to know how you keep the balance in your life between your rugby career, between your book writing, your public appearances, and keeping the wifey happy as well. What's your secret, man?
And you got to get your priorities right, you know. And I also tell my wife she's the priority in my life, so that's an important thing, you know. You've got to put your family first. And for me, it's important that my personal life is in order before I get my professional life in order. It's no use being success at one and not the other, so, and it's going both ways.
And your wife, does she kind of follow the same healthy living and eating principles as you do?
Yeah, I'm very lucky with her, I must say. She also lives very healthily, and she's a Pilates instructor also. We've got a great diet in home, and it's not like we are, you know, follow a certain thing, but we eat healthily, so it's and we train.
And if I had to take a stroll through your house and maybe open one of your cupboards, in terms of supplementation, what would I find there?
Will be pure protein, and then just like recovery drinks during training, you know, and during gym time with Vitago and anabolic nitrate.
For super Bok-like performance, consistency is key. Nutrition is a process, so find what works best for you and stick to tried and tested supplements and ingredients like USN.
You obviously stay fit year-round. Do you have any advice for people going on holiday? How can they still live healthy, be fit, but still enjoy their holiday?
You're going to lose some fitness when you're on holiday. I think the important thing is that you just do something. And it's better to do it early mornings because it's going to be difficult late at night, especially if you're at the sea.
Now, also know that we have a lot of guys at school watching these inserts, and they also look up to you. So what advice can you give to them?
The real story is that there's no shortcuts, and you got to work hard and build it phase by phase, week for week and day by day. So, and if you do it in the off season, maybe you'll have an edge when you come into the new year.
What do you think is your take on the use of supplementation when it comes to school level?
It really gives you an edge when you live right, but if you don't, you're not really going to see the results of it. So for the boys doing it, I'd say like just a protein is just great for after training, and maybe the night before you go to bed.
Yeah, but just stick to the basics.
Yes, and work hard.
All right. And maybe some advice for those youngsters at school, you know, whose hopes and dreams are to play in a World Cup one day.
If you speak to anyone that has been through a lot and has reached a certain level of success, I think they will tell you that it takes a lot of hard work and discipline. And it doesn't matter how talented you are, you need to work hard, and that's the basics of it all. I think for all the kids out there, you got to work hard at what you do, whether you're playing rugby or not. And if you want to play a World Cup, you know, there's only a certain amount of players that do make it to the top. So you've got to realize, I want to be one of them, and you've got to see where your odds are at, and you can make it much better if you work hard.
There you have it, 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. Pierre has a challenge for you. Remember to post your comments and results on the USN SA page on Facebook.
Now, Pierre, this whole week we've been putting challenges to our viewers out there, but let's focus on the guys at school today. What do you have for them?
Yeah, my challenge for the guys at school today is to see if they can beat my time within the 100 meters.
All right, so what was your 100 meters time at school?
At school my time was 10.7, and I believe now I can do it similarly.